Hello, my name is Richard. I live in Show Low, Arizona. And that's his idea is for immigration reform. Seem to be having lots of problems trying to come up with a way to solve our immigration problems. But if they would use their brains, it wouldn't be so hard. Let's start out by saying we all come from somewhere else. Our lineage, unless you're Native America, comes from someplace else, somewhere else in the world. A long time ago, people used to have to come through what was called Ellis Island off the coast of New York if you immigrated to the United States. So that being said, and lack of better words, so they used to have it to where you would have to earn your citizenship if you were Puerto Rican, Cuban, Filipino, and you'd have to, if you're between 18 and 30 and you graduated from wherever you were from, you could serve in the military for 4 years in a non-combat role and earn your citizenship. That should still be taking place. After 4 years, you earn your citizenship. After serving in a non-combat role, you can serve in a combat role, or you're a citizen of the United States at that point. Now, for lack of better things to call what I have to say, we'll call them immigration cities, okay? There are closing military bases that have housing on them and everything else to keep immigrant families together. Companies who took part in this, like let's use Kevlar for instance, the immigrant families could be making Kevlar vests for our military. The companies that took part in this would get tax credits and cheaper labor instead of sending it to Mexico or in other countries. They would be able to keep the business right here. It would create jobs in our country. It would create jobs for the immigrant families. It would keep the immigrant families together. They could use old military bases that have closed down for housing. They could use old mining. There's a city in California out in the desert that has hundreds of houses that could be easily refurbished. That used to be a mining town, and they can use that as a city. There's a gym there. There's a school, the old school there. They could refurbish this whole city and use that for an immigration city, for lack of better words of what to call it. People would have to live in the city for 4 years, work a job for a company, stay crime free, and they would become legal citizens of the United States after 4 years, them and their family. Okay? This is the easiest way to get this done. It's the most humane way to get it done, and it would cut back on illegal crossings and illegal immigrants trying to get to the country. If they did it right and they had an opportunity to do it right, then they could earn their citizenship. It's kind of like on Starship Troopers, if you've ever seen it, but in a different way. Okay, this keeps the families together. It keeps these kids from being separated from their family. They can go to one of these immigration cities, live in a house, pay their rent. You know, they wouldn't get paid as much as other citizens in the city, but they would. The companies that were helping out, that were providing jobs, would get tax cutbacks, and they would also get cheaper wages. Instead of sending it outside the country, we keep it here. It keeps jobs in this country. You know, we could also have the Border Patrol police as their police there. So it would create jobs for Border Patrol, Fire Department. These people could stay in the city after they became naturalized citizens, or they could move on to another city. As long as they were crime free, worked there 4 years, and provided for their family. It just seems hard to believe that no one's come up with this idea yet. And I find it ridiculous that our politicians haven't come up with something like this to keep these families together and keep these kids out of these little jails that they have going on, and people living like animals on the border. I've tried contacting several politicians and they never call back or text back about it. So everybody that's for it, like my channel, like this video, and thank you for watching.